This is the borehole for the Gahlay. This borehole is actually meant for serving the communities. It is also meant for serving the orphanage, the Girls Orphanage that is being constructed and supported by Muslim Aid Australia, as well as Warda, Water Resource Development Agency. So this borehole is going to be assisting not only the settlements, but as well the orphanage that we are constructing for the girls, or the refuge center for girls.
Looks like it's quite deep just by looking at all the piping there. But what's the approximate depth and cost of doing something like this?
We are looking at between 350 to 450 meters deep. That's quite far. Now, and that may be extended later depending on the water table, and it costs between $100,000 to $120,000.
Okay.
That's only the casing and the construction of the digging of the borehole, but it does not include the piping and the transfer of the water to the centers. And so that does not include that. It only includes the borehole. That's in Australia, in US dollars.
And what's the quality of the water that comes up? Is it salty or is it drinkable?
It's actually tested. This village used to have a borehole on the other side. It became salty. Now, and that was not fit for human consumption. But this is fresh water borehole. It's quite fresh. There used to be a river just down by here that dried up. So that water is actually coming from that river, aquifer.
Okay, and I can see the piping here. So that piping is going to take it all the way down to the
orphanage.
The orphanage?
And the centers, yes. And the village. And the village. Okay, so that is the borehole of Dagahle. We are now standing at the front gate of the orphanage for the girls, for the Muslim girls. Now, which is located in Dagahle township. So this is the entrance for that. It is a venture that is being supported by Muslim Aid and Warda in collaboration with Warda, and it is one of the best projects that we can ever pride ourselves on. So we're entering the gate of the orphanage for girls. It's actually almost 100 acres.
Wow. Okay.
We were given about 100 acres.
Okay.
But we were only able to fence about this much.
Yep.
So fencing is just so costly. So we were only able to fence the main area that we want to start with, the constructions and all that. And that is the construction area where we are heading to now. So
this is me walking up to the entrance or down the entrance of the orphanage. You can see there's two buildings there. There's one building over there, and we'll find out exactly what the structures are. And there's another main building over there. As you can see, it's a huge piece of land. It's about 100 acres, so you can see it's a huge plot, sensational. The water for this place will come from the borehole that we saw a little earlier. You can see it's pretty dry and barren. These trees here, even though it's green, they are a noxious weed in this area, and they've got some really nasty thorns. They can live on almost no water, so don't be fooled by seeing the greenery and thinking that there's any water here. There is no water in this place, and it hasn't rained in years. Okay, so we're just approaching the main building now.
This is the constructions that has been done so far. The clearing of this land was the major helpful thing that actually costed us quite substantially. But however, the money has actually moved so many miles, in the sense that it's constructed this dining hall. It's almost complete. It's only needing some finishing touches. And this is the dormitory. These are two dormitories in one, and a house for the caretaker for the girls. So the caretaker's house is there. Two dormitories for the girls is there. For the purpose of security, we decided to make this joint together one. So, and then behind this are the toilets and the latrines for the ladies to shower, for the girls to shower and use them. So, and then we have cleared the land. We have fenced this as well. So this is how far the fence has gone. And by Allah, it has not. is no extra cent that came in from anywhere else.
This is
it's
sensational.
The entire lump sum that Uncle Shabir has given to me, and I have delivered that onto this. And
very impressive. So, how much does this cost? You know, I'm impressed at what's been done for the funds that have been provided.
It is about 68,000, I think. It's about 70,000, close to that, Australian dollars. That's how much it has cost beyond to that. So on the construction of this and clearing of the land and preparations and even paying the workers and the wages.
Okay, and how much more is there to do before we can actually get the first orphans through here?
Substantial amount of work is also required on this. We will require water tank, which is the main basis of this. We require piping of the water from the borehole that I've showed you all the way to that. We will require leveling this ground, so it will require landscaping. So that's all we will require actually, and then we will need a dispensary and all that, and classrooms and administration. Dormitory now. The dormitory is double dormitory. It's 2 dormitories in one, and a small house for the caretaker. So we're walking in now into that dormitory, and this is where the girls will be staying and sleeping.
Wow, it's a nice space. So how many girls do you expect to be staying in this dormitory?
We are looking at about 120 girls with double-decker beds.
Yep.
That's what we are looking at the minimum. So it can take up to a maximum of 150 according to the calculations that were given to us.
Yes.
So we're looking at actually housing this. The reason as to why we want to have this very long dormitory is for security reasons. We cannot afford to look after security of the girls in 2 different dormitories and all that. So this is about 2 dormitories in one. So we've constructed that based on the security issues, based on easy caring for that. Bear in mind that the girls as young as 7 years old are going to be housed here up to the age of 13 or 14. That will be housed here, so they need to be taken care of in one place, looked after in one place and all that. So, and this is now the house for the caretaker. The lady who is going to take after the ladies is going to sleep here. This is her house. So it's about 3 houses in one. That's how we have constructed this, and we've designed on that. So this is basically some of the materials we've stored that we need to continue working on. And we've stopped working because we have run out of funds at this stage. So we'll require further funds for this support. Foundation is almost half of my body. It has costed us a huge amount of money simply because of the size of the ground. The ground is too soft to be constructed on and to hold this building. So it's been quite hectic in the sense of the construction of this. So the foundation was really deep, and we required to do substantial amount of work on this. So it took much of our time, much of our money. This is where it was spent. The toilets and the showers for the ladies and the girls. We've already put the tanks there, the water tanks for that. So what we only need is the piping for the water tank, the water to be able to be coming in here.
And I can see it's nice in close proximity to the dormitories, which is great.
And what we are going to do is we're going to have a shed here, which actually is going to be protective, where when the girls walk in at the night to go and help themselves, there will be protection. But as you can see, our fences are just a makeshift of this. So we require solid fence, which is going to be quite costly actually. So that's one of the things that is going to do. Yeah. So these are the toilets and the latrines, where there is the shower, there is the water tank up there for reservoir. We want to construct a deep water tank on the ground, underground, where water can be stored and kept there for quite substantial time. This is a toilet, and this toilet is a modern toilet compared to others. So this is it's not a pit latrine, so we are fighting very hard to avoid pit latrines because of infections, because of health conditions that are gonna, may arise. So we are trying to build a septic tank. That septic tank is going to cost us huge amount of money, and we cannot afford that. So the previous funding could not be able to construct that for us. So we're quite desperate for actually a septic tank on that. So these are a bit modern toilets that have not been seen in this area. So it's one of its kind, in other words. So that is for cleanliness, for all that for the girls. There is no running water in this area. But we want to be innovative. We want to make sure our girls enjoy the most of their lives by providing them a shower, overhead shower, something that they have never seen, something that's never been heard of in this region. So it's the first of its kind, a model of its kind to be built here for a running water shower that can be done, that can be used here. And so these are the taps, these are the modern taps that we've used. Quite expensive though, but these are all imported. They are not bought in Kenya. So they're all imported via Kenya, and we've constructed this purposely to make sure that the girls get the best of the materials they have.
Okay, so there's 4 toilets and two showers?
Yes.
3 showers.
3 showers, 3 toilets for 150 girls.
That's right. So we want to expand that eventually, but this is the beginning of everything. So we will expand that as we get along the recruitment of the girls and all that. So it's just the beginning of it. We will need more toilets, we will need more showers, obviously as the population of the girls increase as well.
With the master plan, how many toilets and showers would you like to have?
We would like to have, this is about toilets and showers of about 6 now. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we want to have another 6 as well, so that they can have enough on the other side, that is, which is adjacent to this, so that the water sharing can be done. Now, we want toilets to be constructed. These toilets can, the funds from toilets can come from anywhere, actually, because these are toilets. It could be coming from interest funds, it could be coming from any other funds, people's interest in their banks, where they do not want to spend. They can provide this to provide clean water, clean toilets, and clean bathrooms and showers for the girls. And this is the area for wudu, for prayers, preparations for the prayers and all that, for their washings. Now, as you can see, these toilets are not complete. We have run out of funds, we don't have funds to complete this, and we are actually desperate for funds to come through for these toilets to be completed. So this is just the first phase of the toilets. Okay. So we need a completion of that. And so we desperately need funds.
And Muslim Aid have developed a new interest fund. You know, we're looking for proposals to, you know, for things like toilets, latrines, yes, all over the world.
Yes, so toilets and latrines and sanitations. Water and sanitation is quite critical. We actually do not have enough water in this area, as you have seen. The borehole is quite far away, so we will require water system and the toilet system and the sewage systems, as well as the septic tank to be constructed through this. So we don't have septic tank, we don't have sewage here. You're not going to see sewage here, and you're not going to see that in the next 50 years. So we will be using septic tanks. We have to construct large septic tank that can actually contain that. The septic tank is where, because of lack of sewage system, we are not expecting sewage system here in the next 50 years. So the septic tank is going to be acting as the waste disposal area. So this needs to be constructed in a high technical way. And it is going to cost actually more than $700. It's going to cost huge, because it requires a lot of investment, not only time-wise, not only material-wise, but technology-wise as well. We need expertise who can actually construct septic tanks, and that's what's going to be done. So waste disposal is one of the greatest things that I really want to be looking at, coming from a health background.
Now that's a good point. How difficult is it to get you know, skilled tradesmen and labourers to actually come here, because we're at a place that's quite you know, desolate, deserted
area. Now you can imagine we traveled for 2 days. Yesterday is when we left at about 6 o'clock. Is when we started our journey anyway. So coming here up to this time, now you can imagine that skilled laborers are never, skilled individuals are never found in this area. So we have to hire them from as far as Nairobi. And you're looking at the border of Kenya, Somalia, where we are as we stand right now. So you can imagine the distance, you can imagine the time, you can imagine the skilled laborers' timing as well. So it's going to cost us mammoth, enormous amount of funds will be required to get skilled laborers and all that. Even the laborers who actually built, and the skilled people who built this place, we got them from Nairobi. So as far as that, 2 days travel to come here. We're standing on the proposed water tank. This is going to be an underground water tank, where we're proposing, because piping will be coming through here, and this is where the water will be poured on, and then we will be piping from here to the toilets. So you can see the proximity to the toilets, the proximity to the dining hall, to the dormitory. These are the things that we are trying to develop through, and this is going to be a huge water tank where we're going to have water reserve. If the borehole breaks down, we still have reservoir for that. So this is where we aim. It's going to become one of the other bigger projects after the septic tank. So this will also require a lot of technical skills and know-how and all that.
And I can see they've already started marking it out. So
That's
I can
right.
see the markings on the ground. Yes.
And we aim to construct this as soon as we get enough funds for that. Yusuf is the young man who was the engineer who was constructed this. He's taken his trade, you know, through assistance and through other people. Yusuf is a young man, and actually he's a young convert Muslim, so in other words, but his name was something else, so I don't remember what it was initially. But anyway, this is the young man who is behind the construction of this. He's the engineer. He's the man who developed this place, who's worked with us. So he's the brainchild of the way the construction was. Although the architect was done by my wife in assistance of that on voluntary basis. Khatro also needs to be commended for the work that the great work that she's done on the architectural aspect of it, where she's done the architectural plan and all that. And she worked with him, close supervision of that, so she supervised that.
Yes, please pass on our sincere thank you to her as well.
I'll certainly do that. I'll certainly pass that. So Yusuf and his team come from Nairobi as far as that, so we hired them. These are the example of the skilled laborers that we brought them from all the way from Nairobi to this isolated, desolate place with no skilled staff members around.
Okay, Jazakallah khair, Yusuf.
The benefit of this project is not only securing a refuge for girls, but actually it has done capacity building for the communities here. The workers who are working here were about 30 of them to 40 were working here, non-skilled laborers. Now they are getting the skills of building and constructions. We are getting the skilled staff from as far as Nairobi, but they are training the locals. They're training the locals how to build. They're training the locals how to provide the materials, how to construct and all that. So that capacity building in itself is one of the other benefits for the community here. And the community actually pride this. But much of the credit actually goes to the community leaders in this place. The community leaders who have actually contributed the land, who have actually contributed their time, who have actually contributed their energy, time and wealth. So enormous thanks actually goes to them. There are a few more missing, but these are the elders of the town. These are the guys who really made this thing to happen, that have actually provided us this land and all that. So this is the assistant chief from this end. Assistant chief of the area. Ahmed Issa Ali is one of the elders. Chief Abdurrahman bin Hassan is the main chief also of the area. He's one of the elders of the area. Sarah Mukhtar Gedi. So these are the elders of the community of Dagahlay, where the center is being